please like and subscribe.
Welcome back to another Crypto Bros
Holly girl.
podcast number 81.
Yep, 81, and it's almost Christmas time. So, as we were just discussing, Holly's on a hiatus from work for a couple weeks, and she just found out Christmas was not next Saturday. It's on Monday, a week from Monday. So, yeah, we have a little bit over a week. So, if you needed some last minute gift ideas for us, Holly, you've got an extra couple days, so you're good. It's all good.
I don't know what I was thinking. Seriously.
That's all right. I think time is weird anyway, so it's Sunday, okay, great. It's Saturday, great. It doesn't, I don't know, at some level it doesn't seem like it should matter as much as it does to us, but it does. So, yeah. Is your dog doing something stupid?
Yeah, he's drinking water. Can you hear him?
Yeah, I
he's
heard
like
something.
dog, and so he decides he's going to drink water in the room I'm in because there's no other water apparently, and there is, but
Yeah, well, it's better than my dog walking in here and start hacking up something. So we'll see if that happens. If it is, we'll leave it in. We'll just leave it in. It's real life. So let's get to the news of the week-ish, 2-week-ish. So crypto news, and we're not going to have the good, the bad, and the ugly this week. We're just going to talk about things in general. Is Safemoon declaring bankruptcy and everything that goes along with that, and that the token now has been halted for trading. And I think people are starting to realize that this thing is over, even though they don't really want to admit it. Some people are still hanging on. More power to you. I did see one, I gotta say this real fast. I did see one of the funniest screenshots ever. It says holding to the end, and the dude had like 0.003 Safemoon left because he had sold everything else. I thought that was pretty funny. But with that being said, my philosophy has always been laugh or cry. When times get tough, you laugh or you cry. And I always choose to laugh because I don't like to cry. But I do still feel for the people that are out there that have been wrecked by this. I also saw another poll that was out there that says, hey, honestly, how much money did you lose with SafeMoon? There were way more votes for over $20,000 than I would have ever guessed. Like, that was the highest threshold on it. And I would have never guessed that many people lost that much money. I mean, it was a good third of the votes were over 20,000. So that's nothing to sneeze at. Nobody wants to lose even like $100, but there's some people that really, really got wrecked. So let's get into it a little bit. So timeline, John gets arrested. He's still in jail, still has not received bail. He's been denied at least twice. Then there's still some hope out there, and people are selling, people are buying. The chart's kind of weird because, I don't know, there was like a $400,000 buy in the middle of all this too, which just shocks me. I don't, makes me think. What's that?
Was 400. It was 400 in multiple buys. It wasn't just like one.
Yeah.
Like $400. It was.
But it's the same wallet, right?
Yeah, from what I saw, it was the same wallet.
Yeah.
And holding, last time I looked, and I'm pretty sure it actually was still going up. They were holding 9 billion tokens of SafeMoon.
I saw a screenshot of that, but I didn't know if that was the same wallet or not. That's a lot of SafeMoon at this day and age right now.
It makes me really wonder, and it's not, it doesn't make me wonder in the sense that that person knows more than we do, and that's why they're buying. It makes me wonder if it was purposely put in there for people to exit.
When you say people, you mean the right people?
I'm sorry, my dog is going crazy because there's people walking by.
I think Caleb's dog is going crazy at this moment too.
I was gonna say, dog moment.
Wait, this is crazy. I just that wallet, when you look into it, it's just too fresh. None of it makes any sense to me. I don't understand why somebody would continuously buy it. They didn't stop at $400,000. They kept going even after that. So it makes absolute no sense. I don't know anybody, I mean, personally, that I know that has $400,000, they're going to stop and say, I think I'm going to put it in Safemoon. Of all the cryptos that are out there, that's the one. I don't think so.
No, one, it would take somebody to have an exorbitant amount of money to even put that in any crypto, even if it is multiple buys. But to put
Yeah.
it in one where the CEO's in jail and all the stuff that's going on is going on just seems super weird to me. And I think you might be right about getting some liquidity back in so people can exit. But my thought was, were people notified this as a heads up so that they could exit? But I didn't
Not that
see like major. I mean, there were sales, right? But I didn't see like one or two that made me go, "Oh, somebody had a heads up that this was coming, and they were able to get their money out." I didn't see anything like that. Did you come across anything like that, Holly?
So how it all came about for me is it's so crazy. I was busy and I had just, something was like, I had this weird feeling. And so I got onto Twitter and I had probably about 15 DMs from people saying, get out now. They're filing bankruptcy, all this stuff. And I was like, what? And so I started reading through Twitter because usually it's a group of people that knows usually and puts it out sooner than my DM sources, right? So it
Right.
was really that I was seeing nothing. But then I mean, the people that DM me were very, very credible. Like, there's no reason they would lie to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, I'm going to put something out there because I thought it was well known at that point because I started seeing other people like saying they sold, their time was done. And so all I said was, sad day for Safemoon and the community. And then I started getting like, what's happening, and noticing that nobody is really saying anything. And so I actually went back to my sources and said, I'm just going to say what's going on. And they're like, well, why not? You don't have an NDA with Safemoon. And so I was like, well, screw it. And so I said, they're filing bankruptcy. And I started telling people that because I felt the obligation to at least relay the information that I know. And along with that, I do feel like it was credible. People who know me know I would never put out FUD ever in my life unless I was 100% sure of what was going on. And so that's why I did. And I got accused of insider trading and all of this, but honestly, I found out kind of simultaneously along with other people. How they found out, that's their story to tell, not mine. But
Mm-hmm.
I just
Yeah.
I was told, and I tried to get the message out as soon as I could because I knew people were going to panics, and I don't know. I have a friend who's lost $90,000.
Wow.
And
Really?
so that's just it sucks. It's a sucky situation, and there's a lot of emotions. There's anger, there's like sadness. There is the funny side. I mean, I got with a group of my friends yesterday actually, and we were just laughing about everything that we've been through in this Safe Moon journey. And it's funny because I look back and I'm like, we really fought some people over this vision and stuff. And I don't know. I'm thankful, I guess, the learning lesson. I will never be married to another token in my life or
Yeah.
another investment in my life because I spent, almost 3 years for this.
And
Yeah.
you weren't the only one. There was a lot of people out there like that too. And I want to touch on something too that you said. So when it comes to Safemoon and the way that all this went down, people did get hurt, and I've seen people put out there, well, hey, at least I got like really good friends out of it. Like the experience was worth it. So
Yeah.
although I agree with that because Holly, you are one of the friends that we gained out of this, and I've got a couple others that just aren't as prominent as you are in like this channel and things like that. I've been able to get to know, whether it be, through text messages, phone calls, whatever it was. But I don't want that to ever downplay the fact that there is criminal activity that has happened behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And in my humble opinion, that all comes from greed, which is the downfall of a lot of these projects that have fallen by the wayside. I believe if the allegations are true for John and his lifestyle, that there was a greed factor in there and an appearance factor that he was trying to uphold. That there, I get the fact that, hey, we got to look at the positives and we got to pull those things out of it. But I don't want anybody to ever forget that there was a crime committed. If the allegations are true, there was a crime committed, because there's no room for people like this in this space, and I still believe there are some good people out there that are building some really good projects. We've had some of them on our show. Some of the ones that we've had on, or maybe just the project they were representing, I don't know, time will tell. But there are lots of people that have been on here that I can, even if I'm not invested in it, I can talk confidently about their project and believe in what they're doing. But that one, I think, hits home for a lot of people, because a lot of the stories that we hear is, I got into crypto because of Doge. Okay, cool. So did we. Our backstories are kind of the same. Made some money there. Everyone thought it was going to be that easy all the time. And then a lot of people's next dabble into, a decent size investment was Safemoon, because of the timing it came out, how the market was at that time. And my story is, I put in a little bit, and then I put in a little bit more, and then I put in a lot, and then I put in a little bit more. It wasn't just one buy early on. It was, okay, I believe what's going on. I believe, we get the little snippets of information and this and that. And, I can remember one of our proudest moments of this whole journey is when Safemoon started following us. We thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Well, now I could care less. You know what I mean? And I'm like you, Holly, in that aspect, that I will never be married to another token again, even though I'm rooting for several projects that are out there. And it's just, I don't want it to get lost in the background. And I feel like, and maybe it's just me, I feel like there is a little bit of that being lost in the background of that there's criminal activity that has happened and people have got screwed over. And I am glad that we can look on the positive side of things. But if the allegations are true, then John or anyone else that knew what was going on deserves everything that they get. And that's just my opinion on that. And I just want to throw that out there because, yes, it's been an amazing journey, right? And a lot of why the four of us are even here is because of Safemoon. That's how we kind of found each other, or at least with Holly anyways. But something bad happened, and now we're all sitting here, and we all lost money. And maybe I should consider myself lucky that I didn't lose as much money as the next guy. I don't know. But I don't really care. We've said this since day one. I don't care if you got $1 invested or you got $1 million invested. Even if it goes up or even if it goes down, it should never have to be, the worry should not have to be because of a criminal activity. And that's where I'm at with the whole thing. And I think that's what stings the most is greed, once again, won. Whether or not he gets punished or not, it's still won on the behalf of the fact that we don't have the same amount of money that we had before. And that's not fair. But the other thing I kind of wanted to touch on, because, we do this once a week, and if in case somebody's just watching for the first time, sometimes by the time we record, some of the news that we talk about is a little bit on, I would say, on the old side, right? Like they would say a year in crypto is like 3 decades in real life. It's like dog years almost. But one of the things that's starting to come out and about, and Holly, I'll talk about this. You can chime in where you want, just because I don't want to speak for you. But one of the things I'm starting to see now is people that are starting to come out and want to get this, what's the right word of saying it, in a nice professional way. They want to get followers or...
Josh, it's they want to stay relevant.
Okay, that works too. But I'm also seeing people coming out of the woodwork that, I'm just going to throw a name out there, Jonas. Let's just talk about Jonas for a second. So I see he has decided that he wants to come out with a podcast, and he's put this on Twitter so everybody knows this, and he wants to come out with a podcast so he can talk about things and share stories with people that were in the know at the time and this and that about all the crazy behind the scenes stuff.
Right.
I understand that to a point, but to do it for the reasons that I believe it's being done is just really, really cheesy to me. You are trying to glorify something or get likes or get follows or whatever that is, some sort of clout off of other people's misery when people have been begging for information for I don't know how long. And here's the deal. Everybody always throws up, well, NDA. Yeah, I understand. But if you knew there was criminal activity going on, that NDA is null and void. 2, you have a responsibility to the people that put money into the project that you work for to report that to someone so the investigation could start earlier and save however many thousands of people and however many, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars that was invested into it after the fact that you knew of that information. And I'm being very vague on purpose because I don't know everything that happened behind the scenes. And if he comes out and he says, well, I didn't know any of that was happening, I don't believe you. That's just where I'm at. I understand there are people that work there that I trust, that I know had no idea. But I don't think you can be in the position that a guy like Jonas was in and not know. That's just me. And I just wanted to throw that out there. I, for one, just to be 100% transparent, I even asked Holly to reach out and see if he would be a guest of ours. And his response was, no, I'm going to try to start my own podcast, which, hey, more power to you. But the reason we wanted to do it was not to increase views and stuff, but to get as much information out there as possible without blowing up somebody's ego, if that makes sense. So yeah. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Holly, but that's one of the things that's really been under my skin the last couple of days, especially after I realized I wasn't the only one that felt that way. I don't know if the post is still up there, but the comments to the post should show the man that nobody wants to hear his BS anymore, and they are no longer interested in what he has to say when it comes to doing it for the reasons that it comes off that he wants to do it for, if that makes sense.
No, I agree. I mean, it's a trend. It's a trend that we have seen from ex-employees, especially, from Safemoon. And employees that get terminated or let go on reasons that are out of their control, where, they're disgruntled employees. Unfortunately, I hate saying that. But
it's true.
That is like all of a sudden you have a problem with it now that you're no longer working there. But while you were working there, that's a problem. Just like, John's uncle David, he was, I don't know, he did the videos or whatever. Everything was fine and dandy. And I will just say it out there. I met the guy in Miami and he, we won't get into that part. But I met the guy and did I ever get any sense that there was some shadiness going on from Safemoon from him? No. It wasn't until he was fired. Mm-hmm. He didn't agree with the way he was fired. He didn't agree with why he was fired. And so he came out and started releasing all of this stuff. Right. And it's like, this all happened while you were there, while you were working there, and you were okay with it at that point, but you're not now. And I feel like that's, yes, these people have been telling us for years now, and they have, you guys. I mean, I've heard everything that's actually happening now. I've heard this for years now. Mm-hmm. And, to me, it was the way that things came out. When things were less than favorable on your side, now you want to throw this out. So the way you approached, the Safemoon army with the information that you have made it look like they were fudding it, made it look like the allegations were fake because there's always a way to present something to get through to somebody, and they never did that. Mm-hmm. And so now, good for them. Thank you for doing all the research. Thank you for telling us what we now know is true, whatever. I don't know what else they want. I'm sorry for not. It's not that I didn't believe you. I'm sorry for not listening to you. I don't know what they want from people.
I
But
don't either.
they were parading around X like they just solved the world's, biggest the biggest problem. And now, I told you so has been thrown out there, and people who still choose to support Safemoon, and that's like a whole nother thing. They're just really harping on them still,
Mm-hmm.
still. And it's like, okay, we got it, it is what it is. But
Well,
now it's just you're hurting people even more by really rubbing it in their face that they lost a lot of money. And that's just sad to me. I just some people deserve to lose that money, but the majority did not.
yeah, and I don't know that anybody deserves to lose that money in the way that they lost it, no matter how bad of a person you are. But I also, there's a long list, but like you said, it's always the information comes out after the fact, and then it's not enough information to even convince somebody that it was actually happening, because they will be super secretive with it because it's going to come out at a different time, and once again to try to be relevant. If these things were going on and you didn't know, then one, you either weren't very good at your job, or you just didn't care enough because you were still getting a paycheck. And either way is not right,
Agreed.
And I just wanted to throw that out there because, listen, I don't want to get into a name of naming names, because if I do that, I will forget someone on the positive side. But there are guys out there that I trust, that I know that if they knew this was going on, people that we have contact with that worked for Safemoon, that they would have come out and said something, even if it would have completely destroyed their reputation with the project. And those guys are still out there, and they got burned just as bad as the people, like anyone else that lost money. And like I said, I don't want to name names, but one of those guys has been a guest on our podcast for a couple of times, and he's one of my favorite people in the world. And I wish him the best of luck, because I know he's got to be in a bad spot. And one of those guys was on our podcast not very long ago, and he came out with an excellent post today explaining different things, and kind of, he didn't say this is why I didn't know that was going on, but it was kind of one of those deals where, listen, I'm a behind the scenes guy, and I'm doing this, building that. I don't have any dealings with LP and any of that stuff. And there are people that work there that I 100% agree would not have any idea that this was going down. But I also know that those two guys, and I won't go any further because I don't want to forget someone. I do know that those two guys, that if that information would have hit their desk, they would have been the first ones to come out and say, guys, this ain't right. Here's what's going on. And let the lawsuits fly where they may, because they care more about people than they do about clout. And so kudos to those guys. Hopefully they know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. But to add on to that is the one thing I can say that I have heard from multiple people that work at Safemoon is that Safemoon is structured in a way that, a tech company is structured. So you have your developers who are not dealing with anything financially. Do you think that at, my job, I don't deal with anything financial? I don't know what's going on financially. I just know I do my job, and that is that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, as far as it goes. And from what I have heard and from what I understand, it was very similar as Safemoon.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
how could some of these people know that there was something going on in the background? Or depending on, what timeline you want to say, whether this was the V1 or V2 contract, were they even around when it all happened? I don't know.
Is it fair to say, though, that we can assume that John is not the only one that knew?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
that's my point.
I also think there are people that know, that work there, that we don't even know.
Absolutely. We don't know the names of everybody that collected a paycheck. No, I'm with you 100%, because I just want people to not go after the good ones, because you're right. The way, even not just tech companies, but some companies are set up. Let's just take a plumbing company, for instance. I managed one. These guys worked in the field. They didn't know what was going on in the office. That wasn't part of their job. Their job was to get the job done that was set in front of them. And they had the opportunity to kind of know a little bit about the financial structure of their job. but they didn't know overall what was going on with the finances of the company. And so I totally 100% get that. I just think that if somebody is sitting there thinking that John is the only one in the wrong, then that's not correct. But if you think everyone that ever worked at Safemoon should have known and should have said something, that also isn't correct. So it's a bad deal all the way around. And, listen, I'm going to be the first person to say it. Okay, not the first person to say it, but I want to put it out there that for those there that still have the Safemoon token, I hope this thing does rebrand. I hope it does do something else. And I hope somebody takes it in the direction that it could have gone, because I do believe that the vision was there. It's just that greed got in the way and greed won. And if it can be, brought back by somebody else that actually cares and actually wants to run a business, then I think there's a chance that it can happen. I'm just personally not that guy. I said, I don't know how many weeks ago it was, probably over a month ago, that I'm out. I've sold. And I don't say that to go, oh, look at me, everybody do what I do, because it's your money, you do with it what you want. But I will say that if somebody does rebrand it or takes that technology and those ideas and that structure and they want to move forward with it, and it's somebody that I think I can trust, I might get back into it. But now that the token is, I guess what we should get into next is the trading of the token has halted. So those that weren't able to get out, now they can't get out. And I've heard some people say that they think it's because they're moving things around and it'll be open back up. I know the swap was down for a while, but now it's back up with quite a few glitches. But I don't know. I saw a post that I should give credit to the person that said it, but I didn't write it down. And it said that Safemoon has forced the people that still hold the tokens to be it's a Deegan play now. Like they don't have a choice. Like it's either going to explode or it's just going to fade away to nothing. And that's kind of sad because it's not how it started. It's not what it should have been.
The thing is all right. I have a really strong opinion, and I'm going to try really hard to tone it down a little bit.
It only took you 27 minutes to get there, Holly. Let's go.
Yeah. I have a really big issue with people who have told others to hold.
I do too.
And not sell. That is the very, very most reckless thing you could have did to that person, because truth be told, and I said it in a post, in a reply, because somebody asked me if I had sold, and I said, yes, I have sold the majority of what I have. I'm keeping that money in a stable coin. And if something happens miraculously that Safemoon somehow can turn this around, or somebody comes in, swoops it in, I can then buy with the money that I was able to recoup and get in even more tokens that I had if I just held it. And that is the biggest issue that I honestly see with people telling others to hold. You just hurt them, because they actually could have got back in at a way better cost with a way bigger holding size. And that is, I just really hope that people are starting to understand that, and the people who are pushing that this is going to be okay, guys, this is all planned, this was part of the I really hope they see them and they don't take advice from those people anymore, because enough is enough. I'm the last person that wanted to sell my freaking tokens, but I did it to protect myself. And I would never in my life tell somebody to hold on to something that the CEO has gone to jail for multiple charges, not just one. And they're not little, you guys, they're big charges. Yeah. Okay. That is a kind of a big deal. You have the next thing, you have it filing bankruptcy. That's a problem all in itself. Now it is halted trading. So you are stuck in there. And then I see people, I guess, apparently on MEXC and which one is it? It's Bitmart. It's one that I've never used. It's still open on trading on those two. And people are posting that because others are going in there. They're buying it up to make it look like the price is going. Well, guess what? Those two exchanges and whatever exchanges they're on, not your keys, not your crypto. They can pause the trading. You're done for. All of your tokens are completely gone. So the fact that you're posting that you can actually trade on these exchanges still is reckless as well. And shame on you for doing that. And it pisses me off because I know too many people who have already gotten wrecked, who have said, Holly, thank you for your post. I got out as much as I could. And honestly, I've had people say, if I would have waited, it would have been worse than when you first said something.
Well, not only that, I think there's a reason why those are the exchanges that you can actually still trade it, because they know, because of, once again, greed, that they can shut that off and keep your money, and there's nothing that anybody's going to be able to do about it. And so I'm with you, because there were some spikes in that today with Safemoon. I saw that it went up. I forget what it was now, but it was like 70%. But it's still 405. Okay, I mean, it went down to like 403, and just because it spikes like that, I have tokens in my wallet that are worth nothing from projects that I invested in like 2.5 years ago. That every once in a while I get a notification that says it just went up 70%. You know what it's worth? Nothing. It's still worth nothing.
Yeah.
I still can't cash it out. But it went up 70%, and I feel like that's where we're at with the charts and SafeMoon right now.
Yeah. It makes me angry. And then,
But do you think people... Go ahead, Holly. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say there's those people who are saying, oh, we're turning into Deegans now. You listen to this one person over SafeMoon for the last 2.5 years. Do you think you need to listen to him for any other trading? Because look what it's got. Look where it's got to. Come on.
Yeah. Well, and I've had a conversation with a guy just today, because I told him last week we're going to have a podcast, and because of, just real life, we weren't able to. And I said, well, we're filming today. And he's like, oh, anything good? And I was telling him, and he didn't even know. Because not everybody is on X. Not everybody goes through that. But at the same time, he wasn't invested, which is a good thing. I'm glad he wasn't. But people, what's the next one? I don't know, And that's why I choose, and everybody can do whatever they want to invest in blue chips now, at least for the foreseeable future. That's where I'm at. But it doesn't mean I'm going to go out on a platform and tell everybody else that's what they need to do. Because, and here's my question, Ola. Do you think people are going out there and saying that so that they can get more exit liquidity? Do you think that's the play, or do you just think they want to still be relevant?
That's where it came from, Josh, because I've been racking my brain over and over trying to figure out, why are you still trying to steer these people in the wrong direction? It's not for hype, because you can't trade, you can't move the chart. So it's not that. What could it be? Why are you continuously pushing these weird ass narratives? Little light bulb went off, and it's all about relevance. If there is no SafeMoon, who's your persona anymore?
Well, I've actually seen some people take that off of their profiles, and they're not really identified by that anymore.
But you know what, though? The people who have taken that off, who have stopped using the hashtag, all of that, look at their numbers of engagement compared to when they were. Yeah. And so you think that I'm the only one that notices that? No, especially these specific people. They look at numbers all day when it comes. They do like a comparison. It's weird shit.
You're the only one of the four of us that notices that, Holly. I can guarantee you.
The only reason I was talking to somebody else who said, Holly, look at the difference. And also, I've seen the difference even for myself. When I use the hashtag of SafeMoon, I get, over 100 likes. When I don't, I get about 40, 45, 50. I mean, and so it's that hashtag. If you can't use the hashtag anymore, your numbers drop. So that's the only thing they have going for them. So as much as they want to say, I'm not here for clout, that's bullshit. or you wouldn't be pushing a project that is literally bankrupt.
Yeah. It's true.
Push it.
Is that
Push it
salt
really good.
and pepper reference?
Yeah, I just had to.
Yeah.
Salt and
It used to
pepper.
be one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, there you go. I
But
had a little salt and
I'm
pepper.
with you on that, Holly. But that's part of the reason why I don't pay attention to those numbers, because I don't want any of our posts to ever have like some backdoor meaning that just
No.
for engagement. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
But also, I will tell you, just on a side note, I feel like X may have shadow banned us because it's like 40 people see our tweets now, and it's super weird.
Oh. I don't
So-
even.
Shadow ban.
I
I don't know. I heard somebody
what
say it one day, and I thought it
Tell me.
sounded really cool.
It's fancy.
Yeah.
show up on like feed or something like that. I don't know how to stop it. I don't know how it happens either. But yeah, my light keeps going out. But I don't know. That whole topic of, these people that have a larger account, or hold these spaces. I mean, obviously that there's only one person who does. I mean, people have sent me little clips from the spaces because I can't get in there because I'm blocked. Probably because I will go up there and be like, "What the hell are you thinking?"
Yeah. Yeah.
But I hear these little snippets and I'm just like, my jaw's on the floor of, I cannot believe that you're pushing this narrative. I can't believe that you're sitting here saying how much you love the Safemoon family and we're always going to be family, yet you're steering them in such a reckless position that it's just disgusting to me. It really is disgusting. And it's all because you want to be relevant. Because if you didn't have Safemoon, what more are you going to talk about?
Yeah.
That's kind of sad, though. I don't want anything
That's
that.
a sad life to me. I mean,
Yeah, because
I couldn't.
I don't ever want who I am to be about something that I have zero control over.
No, I don't either.
It's like,
I mean,
that's not what I want to be known as.
like today was really, it was really hard for me to post this morning because the last almost 3 years, Sunday has always been Safemoon Sunday for me. And that was something that I had explained, when John got arrested, but Safemoon was still going. I had said Safemoon Sunday will always be that, and as long as they're a company. And then the fact that they're really not anymore. It was really hard for me. I know it sounds really silly, but that this has been part of my life for the last 3 years. And
Well, it may sound silly to some people, Holly, but if it's important to you, then it's important to your friends. So, did you not post Safe Moon Sunday today?
no, I just
I
said
didn't
happy.
notice.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell the sadness in your voice. So, I want to ask you one more question and see what you guys think. Okay, so Holly doesn't cry. So.
Okay.
We talk about, if it gets restructured, if somebody picks it up, if somebody buys it, if somebody does something different with it, rebrands it, whatever that looks like. There could be a million different things. If it's Safemoon, but it's called, I don't know, something different because I don't have a good imagination. I'm not going to make something up on the spot.
Right.
Safe Star.
Would you reinvest? Safe Start.
It all depends on who has taken.
Okay.
Like,
I agree with that, but I keep...
Jake Ham, I would. And the reason why is because he was a big part of everything that they have going on. And so it still kind of aligns with that, with the vision. He knows what the vision is.
And he's a down-to-earth guy, too. I really
yeah.
enjoyed having him on, and I can't wait to have him on again. But so I'm with you on that, okay? Mm-hmm. But what kind of delays do you think we're looking at before that thing would, I hate the term, but quote-unquote moon? Because where's the trust at? You know what I mean?
It'll be years, you guys. We have, it'll
agree.
be
A long time.
years. Maybe the next bull run, like if we're looking, I don't know, no, I mean, because that's literally like years.
Yeah.
If it ever happens again. So
Caleb, would you reinvest? Would you buy? I would not.
Not right off the bat, I wouldn't. No.
No.
That cat's not reinvested. He just showed his butt to everybody.
No, he said, "Screw that."
Yeah, and that's
There's
kind
a
of
lot
my
of other projects.
that's kind of my point. Like institutional money would it invest in that project, knowing even it's a completely different board, completely different CEO, everything. It's going to take like proof that they are actually doing something and they're actually moving in a different direction, and it's not just about the Army. Because let's be honest, the Army is what kept that thing afloat the entire time anyways. It wasn't what they were doing. Their little videos that they'd put out once in a while was not making, well, it was making people invest, but it was hopium more than anything else. It's going to take time. And so I personally don't know. It would take somebody like a Jake Hammond for me to even think about it. Honestly.
I agree.
Like you'd have to completely clean house.
Yeah. I agree completely. Like with completely cleaning house, I did see several people like wanting Don Bailey to take over. I think that is a very terrible idea.
Agreed.
I do not think that people will get behind that to make Safemoon a thing. I just don't. And Don has his own thing that he really should probably focus on the most, and that's BBTF and the mirror protocols, because Binance is actually unpegging a lot of things, and so they better start looking into what happens to some of their pegged tokens and reflections. So I don't think that would be the best idea. I don't think that anybody that is known in the space. I have also heard, and I don't know how true this is, that Vitris is looking to acquire Safemoon. I don't know how true that is. I'm not sure even about that, to be honest. And Vitris, I'm looking for what they're doing.
I'd listen to that conversation. But
yeah,
I would tell you the same thing too. I think that, not to even like specifically name a person, like you said, Don Bailey, anyone that close to Safemoon is not the person.
It will not.
It's got to be further away from that.
I agree. And so I did see, somebody had said about, Don BBTF's going to need to copy and paste the Safemoon wallet and open their own wallet and all this stuff.
Yeah. So what happens with that? Let's talk about that for a second, because it doesn't show up on Trust Wallet. Right?
What, BBTF?
Well, yeah, but it has no value.
Yeah, no, I don't have value on my Trust Wallet. No.
So what are they going to do?
Listed on CoinMarketCap. That's why.
Right. But can you trade it on PancakeSwap?
I've never tried.
I haven't either. Know. Maybe I should try that.
That's where I got mine.
You did get it off PancakeSwap?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So there is a way to still get it, although it's tied so closely. Like you said, the mirror protocols and BBTF are tied so closely to Safemoon. I don't think anybody involved with those two projects, whether you like them or whether you hate them, should have anything to do if this does rebrand and go in a different direction. They're too close.
Well, yes. And the question of the day is, nobody actually knows if that's even allowed. Is it allowed, with the bankruptcy happening, they're liquidating everything, or can they sell off portions of the software or of the tech that they do have? Or does it get liquidated along with everything else to satisfy the debts that they need to pay? We don't know.
We don't know. But the weird thing about that, Holly, and I don't mean to cut you off, is the fact that they don't seem to have that much debt. I don't have the numbers written down in front of me, and I probably should have done that. But from what they have and what their debt is, there seems like there's going to be leftover. And so I don't know if they're going to have to sell that kind of stuff off.
Well, then what happens to it? Does it go like
away?
Biggest bidder?
That's what I'm thinking. They might be able to sell it, and I'm hoping if this is even a thing, and now I feel like I'm getting way out into speculation land, that I'm hoping that if that's the case, that all goes back on liquidity and people can get out and get their money. It still won't be what it was before, because it's not going to sell for very much money if anybody even wants the tech, but at least it's something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Orbital Shield, I would think, would be worth something.
Maybe. Does it work? I mean, do we even know?
I don't know.
hope so. I don't know. That's a good question.
Well,
Josh.
and I don't mean to be a jerk, okay? I think you guys know me, and maybe the people watching this don't. You know, some of them hopefully understand where I'm coming from. But seriously, how do we know it works? I mean, at one point it wasn't collecting data, right? That's what they said. Well, we're not collecting data, and then it was proven that it was. So for all we know, all it was a data collecting software, and it didn't do anything else. We don't know. So because it has no other uses outside of the Safemoon wallet. They never sold it or did anything with it or leased it out or whatever you do with tech, you know. So, and I don't. That's a topic for another time when we have a guest on that even knows what it's about. But there's where my doubts come in. There's where things were like institutional and money. Until they know those sort of things, they're not putting big time money into projects like this. So it's going to be a long road. I guess we can all agree on that. And
it's going to be a very, 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 very long road. I mean, the court stuff with John alone
could be years.
Years and years.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I mean, and the SEC is, you know, they've taken on some pretty big players. You know, they're being sued again, I believe, by Coinbase. And so there's going to be some rulings coming out, but we don't know when. We don't get to force the government's hand on anything. So all I know is that when the government got involved in internet poker, it completely screwed up, and it hasn't been back since. So that's another sore subject for a guy that loves to play internet poker. So anyways, do you guys have anything else that you want to add about Safemoon and everything else? I mean, I will be honest with you. By being diversified, my wallet is as healthy as it's ever been, even with the Safemoon fiasco, because things are kind of went up over the last, I don't know, actually month. They've kind of, a lot of my tokens are up by like 40, 50%.
Yeah, Shiba Inu.
Yep.
It did a run. I was so excited. I mean, I was really happy.
I have a question for you real fast for all four of us. So I don't know about you, Holly, but I know that Caleb and Greg and I are all invested in Pitbull. And that is a community token. I've heard people say, well, why not make Safemoon a community token? I don't know if that would work or not. Does anybody have any thoughts on that?
It wouldn't work. I mean, honestly, it would have worked.
That's what I was thinking. It could have, but not anymore.
A year ago, or V1, it would have.
Yeah, because it's morphed into, we're a tech company and we're going to do this. Yeah. Now there's like really big dreams of what it could be. And it's not just a community token. I mean, because honestly, we used to fight back in the day about being called a shit coin or a meme coin, saying we're not. And we would have had a better outcome.
Turns out. Turns out that wasn't far from the truth, I guess. So I don't know. Yep. Still rooting for everybody out there. Really, truly am. You know, we never want anybody to lose money, because we all have in different aspects, even in this project. So, I mean, so we don't want to see that. But Holly, are you doing HOLLITIVITY today?
I am. I have quite the fun little story.
Good deals. Let's change. All right. Let's change our trajectory here and get a little bit more positive then with some HOLLITIVITY.
One of my friends, I have actually met him through the Safemoon community years ago when it first started. And then he kind of went off and did his own thing and was investing in all different things. But his name is Les. And then it's, how do you say the gorilla? Remember Humble, or what it was his name? Harambe. Harambe.
Harambe. Yep.
Okay.
I think. And then it says, and then it's Dogecoin. Anyway.
Is that the one they shot because a kid fell in there or something?
Yeah, but now I'm not even sure if it's the right name, so scratch that.
No, I'm not editing it out. We're going to look like idiots. Transparency.
My favorite. So he's just a really awesome person, but he sent out a little story that I'm going to read to you guys today. And the story is called Smart Ass. One day, a farmer's donkey fell down in a well. The animal cried for hours as the farmer tried to figure out what to do. Finally, he decided the animal was old and the well needed to be covered anyways. It just wasn't worth it to retrieve the donkey. He invited all his neighbors to come over and help him. They all grabbed a shovel and began to shovel the dirt in the well. At first, the donkey realized what was happening and cried horribly. Then, to everyone's amazement, he quieted down. A few shovel loads later, the farmer finally looked down the well. He was astonished with what he saw. With each shovel of dirt that hit his back, the donkey was doing something amazing. He would shake it off and take a step up. As the farmer's neighbors continued to shovel dirt onto the animal, he would shake it off and take a step up. Pretty soon, everyone was amazed as the donkey stepped up over the edge of the well and happily trotted off. Life is going to shovel dirt at you, all kinds of dirt. The trick to getting out of the well is to shake it off and take a step up. Each of our troubles is a stepping stone. We can get out of the deepest wells just by not stopping, never giving up. Shake it off and take a step up. Remember 5 simple rules to be happy. Fill your heart from hatred. Free your heart, not fill your heart.
I'm going to say, wow, that seems counterproductive, but hey, Les said it, so let's go.
Turn into a Sith.
Free your heart from hatred. Free your mind from worries. Live simply and appreciate what you have. Give more, expect less. So enough of this crap. The donkey later came back and bit the farmer who had tried to bury him. The gash from the bite got infected and the farmer eventually died in agony from septic shock. Moral from today's lesson. When you do something wrong and try to cover your ass, it will always come back to bite you.
Ooh, I like it.
Good story.
Wow, damn.
I was like, you know what?
Beware.
But you know what, Holly, how many people do you know in life that are in the spot they are because at some point they just gave up and they just said, it's too hard. I'm not going to do it. And as long as you don't quit, you don't lose. You know, it may not be easy, but I like that a lot. I may have to share that with my basketball team as we have not started our season very successfully, and we need to shake some dirt off of our backs in this hole that we have dug. So, all right, well, good deal. I'm glad Hollitivity is back because it's been a while, and I enjoy hearing those. So, Caleb, are you ready to answer or ask questions?
It's time for Caleb's choice.
His choice?
His rules.
Pick a number.
Holly, you go first since you almost cried today.
5.
5?
You're going 5?
Mm-hmm.
If you could have any animal scaled down to the size of a cat, what would it be? Any animal you can basically make a pet size and have it in your house, what would it be?
Any animal could be a pet size to me. So I have giant animals, so that's a hard one.
Kitty
I don't know.
size.
I just think of like maybe a rhino.
That's what I was going to say. That would be the coolest. But I guarantee you my couch would have holes in it.
It would be so cute.
Yeah, it'd be hard to keep your house clean though because they just spray their stuff all over the place.
Yeah, they do. No, because I think baby elephants are the cutest with how big they are still. Like I wouldn't want to shrink it because it's so cute.
I want a tiny cat-sized hippopotamus.
Oh, you and Shauna.
Did you know that hippos are really, really mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. They're one of the most dangerous animals.
Yeah.
But if it was this big, it would look so cute and people would want to pet it and then it would just be like...
I
She'll
dream.
eat you.
Hungry hippos.
Yeah.
Mm.
I didn't go with the giraffe. Little bit miniature giraffe.
Even a baby, I could just hug his neck. Oh no, I don't. Yeah, I don't believe in shrinking the animals. I like them giant.
I wouldn't hug a regular sized giraffe. Giraffe?
Well, I mean, you'd hug a leg.
No,
That's a-
I wouldn't. Would be afraid it would kick me. Greg, what'd you choose?
I would say maybe like a bear. I'd choose
Yeah.
bear.
It'll be
Oh, man.
if you think if you think a cat would tear down your Christmas tree, that bear is gonna shred it. No more decorations.
All right, Greg, you want to pick?
Sure. Number 3.
Number 3. What is your all-time favorite Christmas movie?
I hate questions like this. It's too hard.
Oh,
It's
all-time
too hard to do
favorite.
top 3.
I like It's a Wonderful Life,
Yeah.
but all-time favorite, I'd have to go with The Grinch.
Oh,
Just by default. I like all variations of that movie.
that doesn't even make the top 10, Greg.
What one would you pick, though? If you could only watch one of the Grinches, which one would you watch?
The newest animated one.
Okay.
I really like that one.
Newest.
But It's a
as in-
Wonderful
seen
Life
that
is
one.
like right there.
I haven't
There
seen
was
that
a
yet.
maybe like 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, I didn't even know
There's
that.
It was
Yeah.
like animated
Hmm.
remake. You know, when his heart grows 3 sizes that day, that gets me every time.
It's right here.
I'll have.
He's so cute.
I would have my cat-sized rhinoceros eat him.
Oh,
Merry
wow.
Christmas.
That's a twist on a story. I can get down with the
Change it up a
alternate
little
version.
bit. Holly, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
So my favorite, and not a lot of people probably like even know about it. It's called Meet Me in St. Louis.
Yeah.
It's a musical. It's old. It's really old, but it's my absolute favorite. But in close second is Home Alone. I love Home Alone. I still watch
Yeah.
it to this day. I love part 2 when they're in New York too. I like the Home Alone. I've never seen part 3, but I just 1 and 2 is my favorite.
Those are good.
Yeah. You're gonna say Die Hard. I can feel it
No,
already.
Yippee-ki-yay,
I
mother.
don't think Die Hard is a Christmas movie because Bruce
Is that a
Willis
Christmas
says it
party?
wasn't.
It was at a Christmas party.
It was a Christmas movie.
No,
Yeah, it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
it happened
It was
at Christmas time, but it wasn't a Christmas movie.
It was a Christmas season, but it was not a Christmas movie.
I don't
Okay.
know about
Caleb, what's your favorite movie before I blab mine?
that. Probably Elf.
Yeah.
The
Santa.
shower, that's one of my favorite scenes ever.
Baby, it's
I
cold
love-
outside. Yeah.
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 So I have to go with It's a Wonderful Life. 1, because it's a good movie, but 2, it also reminds me of watching old Christmas movies with my mom. But it's really hard to just pick one. Like,
It is.
I feel like It's a Wonderful Life. Elf would be in my top 3. Christmas Vacation's really good. Like, it's
Christmas Vacation every year on Thanksgiving. It's like a thing.
That's
I don't
okay.
know. That is when the only time we really watch that movie is on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Hey. Traditions.
number 1.
Number 1. Favorite ice cream topping.
Caramel.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Caramel.
I would go with caramel too, because I can almost see caramel on anything. Yeah.
Let's say hot fudge for me.
Holly and I like this.
Mm.
Mm.
Can it be a combination?
Nope.
It doesn't say
No,
toppings.
me. What do you got, Greg?
His
Big
choice.
combo.
His
Good
rules.
combo.
His rules. All right, pecans
Pecans.
with caramel.
Caramel pecans.
There we go. Caramel covered pecans.
There you go. With salt.
Andy's ice cream.
Andy's.
I got rewards
Do you have
now.
Andy's? Because it's the best.
It is the best.
No, I feel like I've heard it, but I feel like I might have been somewhere else when I've seen it. We don't have
That's
it
true.
here.
Yeah.
Not that I know of. I mean, but we have some really cool, like, crazy ice cream places here that does like crazy cookies and.
Andy's
Yeah.
will take like a whole piece of pumpkin pie and mix it with a single thing of ice cream, and then you get it. I gotta try that sometime. I'm really disappointed you didn't say pink sprinkles, Holly. I really thought that would be your answer.
No, fun fact, I don't like sprinkles at all.
Me
I think
either.
they make everything so much more sugary, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't like that kind of stuff on my ice cream. I'm very basic. Caramel, I like almonds, but that's as far as it goes for like real toppings. I don't even like-
Relativity sprinkles. I like it.
I mean, it's pretty. It would be really like cute to get, but not to eat.
Yeah, I don't eat food because it's cute. I don't think.
Wow.
I was gonna say reevaluate that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might have to
Hey.
reevaluate my life choices.
Depends on how cute it is. What if I had a cute little hippo on it?
Kayla, what's yours?
Hot fudge.
Hot
See-
fudge.
Fudge too. Hot fudge and caramel mixed. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
But just one.
Could eat one bite and I'm done. Like I just need like to get the it's so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big ice cream person other than the, couple bites.
Holly, what's your question for us?
All right. Ready?
No.
If
Maybe.
if you punch yourself in the face and it hurts, are you weak or strong?
Well, thanks for watching, folks. We appreciate you tuning in. What kind of question
Caleb,
is that?
try it.
Yeah, Caleb, let's demonstrate.
I feel like he'd be strong.
Would it hurt
All around.
though?
Holly died.
Every
We,
time.
we
Holly
killed,
is-
we killed Holly.
Gone.
Strong. I don't know. Strong. If it hurt,
Do you think you can actually
Well,
punch yourself as hard as you possibly can? I don't think
No.
your body would let you.
No, I don't think I
I don't
I
know
could
if it would hurt.
myself to hurt myself because I know
So if that's
No.
the case, then I'll say if it hurts, I'm strong, not weak.
I like
go with.
very true. It's a good one.
Super
It's
smart.
been time since I've had a very off the wall question. So
Yeah.
I had to throw
That's
it in there.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we missed it too. We sure have missed them.
For real. All right. Welcome to Cryptic Corner. Today, I was going to talk about how, hey,
Hi, Caleb. Hi, Caleb.
get it in there. But what if we live in a matrix? Like in the movie, The Matrix. What if all we're living is a simulation, God's simulation, and we're just here just waiting to wake up? And with what Holly was saying, what like parallel timelines if we're shifting, if that's a real thing. Like has anybody ever experienced deja vu?
Yes.
Mhm.
What do you think that is?
Well, I mean, yeah. This topic scares the crap out of me because
Good. It's all right.
but I feel like there's so much sense to it. I mean, the older I get, the more I start to like kind of question these type of things, and I could totally see it being a simulation. Like I could. I don't know. It's scary.
Well, I mean, deja vu. What is it? Is
No.
it that we've dreamed about something and now we're living it?
That's what I think.
You know what I mean? Like it seems familiar to you, like you've done it before, Is it something you've projected into the future and now you're living it, or is it something you remember from a dream? Mm-hmm.
You can't remember anything that happens afterwards. You know what I mean? It happens and you're like, I feel like I've done this before. But that's as far as it goes. It's like not, I've done this before and now I'm going to go over here and do this thing, because it doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm. Or like, have you ever met somebody that you're like, I know I've met them before, I just know them somehow.
That's just because my brain sucks. That's why that happens.
What?
I could be introduced to the same person 3 times and I'll not remember who they are. I'll remember their face, but I don't remember their name.
Greg, I know what you're talking about, because there has been, or the people that you meet and you feel like you know them forever, like forever. Yeah.
And it makes you ponder, like, do we know things before we were born? Or what's going on here?
For me personally, I think any deja vu I've ever had was because I think a lot and I can like see like, what if this happened or what if that happened? And then at some point down the road, maybe a sliver of that happens and it's like, oh, I don't remember thinking that, or not that it actually had happened before, but I'm living what one of the scenarios of, I don't know, anytime I'm presented with a problem, there's like A, B, C, D, maybe 15 different solutions. I don't know. That I can go, okay, well, if this happens, I'll do that. If that happens, I'll do this, whatever. And I feel like that's what any deja vu, because I haven't had that much deja vu. But every once in a while, what happens, I believe it's because I've kind of thought that out before and go, oh, yeah, that was one of the solutions. Or that was the problem that I came up with these 5 solutions to, or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Well, what about
actual deja vu?
Have you had deja vu recently?
I haven't in a while.
Anybody? Has anyone had it recently?
Not in a while. I mean, maybe once this year, but like I used to have it all the time when I was younger.
So that's when I remembered it, when I was younger, but not as an adult. I don't know what that would mean.
What about like coincidences? Those little things that happen, and you're like, wow, what are the odds of that? I mean, because coincidences are mathematically impossible.
Yeah, I don't believe in coincidences.
I don't either.
Good or
and
bad?
That happens to me all the time, coincidences, and a lot lately. Like good or bad?
Yeah, good coincidences.
They're generally good.
But they can be bad. I mean, sometimes
in my life they're not.
Yeah, it can like snowball. It can be bad.
I mean, I will say there's been a lot of coincidences in my life recently where like I'm thinking of something, or I just talk about something, and then it happens like within hours, like to the point where people around me notice it. Like, what are the odds of that? And it's almost like an every week occurrence. Strange.
Not me.
Is it the shift?
The shift.
Are we in control of more than we think? By what we think?
No.
Years.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't. This whole, people, what do they talk about? Speak it into existence. I don't think that's a thing.
Don't think it's a thing?
No.
We should test it.
Well, I have. I still don't have a Ferrari.
Oh.
And then out there,
maybe you might get
still driving a Ford Escape. It's not near as cool as a Ferrari would be.
Yeah, this topic like freaks me out. Because there's so much truth to it. There actually is some, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you wake up, like, say, okay, you die, you kick the bucket, and then you wake up and you're like, whoa, that was fun. Or that, like, I mean, why would I choose this? Like, I don't know. I just don't understand how this.
I
don't know.
I chose wrong.
No, I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with my life. I think it's been kind of awesome. But why wouldn't I have, like, been a billionaire or something crazy like that? I don't know.
Well, to be the devil's advocate on that, I think that the fact that if it was truly a simulation and you were to wake up, I don't think you'd remember any of it.
No, see, and that's the thing is, like, because you hear, once you die, there's like you keep going, you know. But I want to remember everything. And if I come back, I want to know all of this.
No, it won't matter.
No. And that's to me.
What if we're just here to go through a process and learn things? It's not about becoming rich or gaining wealth or material. I mean, because we die and we lose it all anyway.
Well, exactly. Right? I think that's truly probably more likely a scenario, but
I always tell my wife, it's like, why don't we throw this stuff away? Because if we don't, someday when we die, our kids will. Like, this stuff doesn't matter. Get take it with us.
Time, like, I don't want to leave Mally in a mess, so that's like I'm setting up my life so that when I do go, her life will be better. So I don't know. I don't. That's a tough one, Greg. This one's like too, mind blowing for me.
Follow the rabbit. Wake up, Neo.
Gosh.
The Great Awakening.
See, I think that's a good story. I just don't think. It's just not real.
So, Greg,
the Matrix wasn't real. You're right. Huh?
Right.
So, Greg, would you say that deja vu is you've already lived that in a past life?
Past life? See, I don't. The past life thing. I don't know. I think it might be. What's that?
You don't think there's a past life?
Like live multiple lives, like
I don't know about that. I believe we were before we were born, 100%. But living like reincarnation, I don't know that I.
You believe what before we were born?
We were made before we were born.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think we existed before we were born, but I don't know that we lived multiple lives. Right.
Well, maybe, and I don't know if we actually existed or not, but we were already thought of. Like, I don't know if there was an existence of us, but I don't believe in reincarnation by any means. Or that we had a past life.
Yeah.
Those are beyond us.
When you die this life, you don't think you're going to move on to something else?
Oh, I definitely do.
Oh, yeah, but not on this earth. There'll be
out of the Matrix.
Yeah, not the Matrix. I mean, I believe in what the Bible says, and the Bible says that when Jesus comes back, that he will create a new heaven and a new earth, and that the people that have accepted him as his Savior will live with him face to face. That's why I don't think any of this matters, because when we make it there, we won't care about any of this. But also on the flip side of those, the Bible says that the people who do not accept Jesus as their Savior will also get a different body. But then they will be in the lake of fire for eternity. So that's what I believe.
Oh yeah, I believe in Jesus. I believe in God.
Yeah,
I believe that there will be a new heaven, new earth. But our human brains can't really put that into what that actually is.
Well, we can't we can't really fathom what eternity is. Because everything we do is like to the second, to the minute, to the hour, to the day, to the week, to the month, to the year. Everything's got a time on it. Even as we're recording this video, I'm looking at the time going, how long is this going to take me to upload? You know what I mean? Or to render it. Whereas when you talk about eternity, it doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters because it's forever. But our brains can't figure that out.
Forever is still, there's a time limit to forever. Eternal is existing out of time.
Right. And I guess I always put those two as the same.
Well, yeah, I mean, you generally do, but if you really think of it on a deep level, eternity is like there's
outside
no
of time
limit, outside of time.
Yeah.
And when people say I'm going to do this forever, there actually still is a time limit. It's not eternal.
At some point, you're going to stop doing it, even if death causes that.
Right. It doesn't last forever. It's like lifetime warranty. Well, there's a certain limit there.
Well, that's what I always hear people say this, and it's not that I make fun of them of it because I'm not that cold-hearted. But when people say, I'll love you forever, no, you won't. You can't. I told my ex-wife that when we were going through a divorce. She said, oh, I'll always love you. I was like, no, you won't. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, because if you don't spend time with someone, you won't continue to love them. You will start to forget about them and it won't matter anymore. You know, when it comes to that, I think there is when it comes to like a parent and a child, there is a love there that probably does last as long as you're alive. But once you're dead, it doesn't matter anymore. People ask me all the time, am I going to know who my wife is in heaven? I don't know. I don't think you're going to care because you're going to be face to face with God. That stuff's not going to matter. So my wife doesn't like to hear that, but but I think it's true. The Bible doesn't say anything about knowing, your wife or your children or whatever in heaven. It just doesn't. But it also doesn't
mean it won't.
Right, because it doesn't actually spell out if it tried to spell out every detail, no one would have enough time to read the whole book because it would be bigger than my house. You know what I mean? It's like, so.
Right.
But no, I think that's a good, it's fun to watch the Matrix movies, but I don't think we're living in a simulation by any means.
I love those movies.
Yeah. I actually still haven't seen the last one, by the way.
Really?
No, I need to watch it.
I just watched all 4 of them like 2 weeks ago.
I've seen the first 3.
In a row.
I haven't seen any of them.
What?
What?
Movie.
The Matrix.
What? The Matrix.
I think I've seen the first one, but I might have to watch it again because I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I was going to watch the last one, I would watch the first 3 again before I watch the last one. It's been, when those come out, Greg?
99 was the first one.
Yeah, I was going to say, so a long time ago. I'm going to need to rewatch them.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's good for another episode. So have a great weekend, and God bless.
Be kind.
I'm Caleb. Please like and subscribe.